The day I knew my 9 to 5 wasn't my forever plan, I remember I was sitting at my desk and I was just thinking, is this it? Have you ever had one of them moments where you just think, what am I doing? Like, what am I actually doing here? Am I benefiting from anything? Am I contributing to anything? Do I feel fulfilled, if I can get my words out? Um, yeah, I was just sitting at my desk in work and I just thought, no, I'm done. I got to change this up now because that's it. And I was reflecting back on the pandemic times, because when the pandemic happened, um, I literally was going from one job into another, so I thought. And because I only had technically that one source of income that I was supposed to be having coming in, when the company I was supposed to join to start on my induction training on the 26th of October, when we went back into lockdown in Wales, basically the company had pulled the plug on the induction training. And that meant that I didn't have a job. I didn't have any other form of income coming in. I had no savings. I was literally working and living paycheck to paycheck, literally. And I'd just given up a job to start another. So the fact that they pulled the plug because we went back into lockdown, it just put me in such a dire situation where I got into debt quite quickly. I already had some debt previously from being divorced, and had gone through that. And now I've got this to contend with, and I've never been on benefits before. I've always worked since I left school, since I was 16. I've always had a job. I've never not worked. I haven't got a clue about benefits. I haven't got a clue what I could be entitled to. So it was really scary, it was such a scary time. And now fast forward 5 years later, I'm back into a 9 to 5 grind of a job. Grateful, yes, that I've got a job, but I'm sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck still. I don't have savings still because I don't earn enough to save anything. There isn't anything enough left over that I could put away at least 10% plus into a savings account per month. And that's what I'd love to do. Money isn't everything, but like I said before, it gives you options. And so when I was sitting there in work, staring at the computer screen, thinking, I just can't do this anymore. There's got to be more to life than this. I decided to research and look for things that I could do online around what I was doing full time, because my 9 to 5 is rigid. I've got to attend a certain building every day, Monday to Friday. So the only time that I have available to work extra or do extra would be evening and weekend. And that's why I started looking to the online world, basically, of having a business online, because I knew that was the only way I could potentially build something around my full time, and just basically be patient. Just put the work in, be consistent day in, day out, and be patient. And that's literally what I've done. Thankfully, through one of my TikTok channels, my friend reached out to me and she said, look, take a look at this travel business. It really is something I think you might be interested in, because I know you love travel so much. And I'm like, do you know what? You're onto something there. And how I never thought about it before, I do not know, right? Because as you know, travel is my thing. It's my passion. I love travel. I love exploring, whether it be in the UK here or going abroad. I like to be in warm climate countries because I feel the heat, the warmth is kinder to me with my joints and my back and my knees. And especially after nursing, I've damaged or injured my knees and back in the past. So I do feel it when it's cold. I do suffer. So I also find as well, when it's warm and the sun is out longer and the weather conditions are better, you want to get out and do more. You get more fresh air, even if it's just going for a walk, going to sit down in a park, or going to the beach and having a picnic or something like that. I just love all that, simple, wholesome things. I'm not necessarily after bougie things all the time. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I do like nice hotels, and I do like nice locations and things. But at the same time, I'm also after the simple things in life, wholesome, quality time with my other half, and just time out to myself, being kind to myself in a safe space. And that to me is what's so important. Not just about having money in the bank. There's a lot more to it than that. It's about feeling fulfilled. I cannot get my words out today. Sorry. But it's about feeling fulfilled. And I just want to do more. I just don't want to waste life. I'm 45, I'm hormonal, going through the menopause fully. I've been menopausal now for 3 years next month. I'm on HRT, and I'm just thinking, well, I've got no children, so what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Because, like I said before, I don't want to be in the same 9 to 5 grind. I certainly don't want to be there until I retire. And for me, retirement is not going to be 67, which the government wants us to do. I want to retire on my terms. I want to retire earlier, a lot sooner. But also, if I decide to work, it's my choice. And also, for me, having a travel business isn't work. It's not a job. It's a passion. It's a hobby. It's being able to give solutions to people to help them, find somewhere to stay, somewhere to travel to. Sometimes it could be their first time going somewhere. So, sometimes people can feel a little bit apprehensive, as much as it might be a dream of theirs to go travel somewhere. The fact that I've gone and done all this research for them and found them the right location, hotel, etc., I feel like I'm giving them the brilliant, perfect service that unfortunately you don't really get much anymore when you go to like faceless companies. I won't say who, but at least I can give them a bit more of a personal touch. And I think that is what's so important. And I think, yes, I love AI. I love online. I'm getting to talk to so many amazing people here now online. However, I think sometimes it's still nice to have that personal service, that, professional go-to person that you can trust. And I think that's so important. So that is why, after sitting there at my desk, I just thought, right, Ree, what's your plan? Because you can't stay here anymore. That sort of feeling you get in your stomach where you just think, oh, here we go again. That's normally the feeling you get, right, on a Sunday. Sunday isn't even over before you're feeling the Groundhog Day, Monday morning dread. Or if you work shifts, it's the same principle. When you've had your 4 days on, 4 days off, or whatever it is shift pattern you're on, whether it's 3 days on, 2 days off, or whatever, depending on where you work. But I just thought, I just really put things into perspective, what was important to me. And I think a good tip to you guys as well is, if you're not sure what is for you, I would suggest writing it down or typing it somewhere, depending on what you prefer. I write things down. I'm old school. I like a pen and paper. I like to write the pros and cons of things. I like to sort of reflect on what can give me what benefits, what are the negatives. Do the negatives outweigh the positives, basically? And then that can help process of elimination in your mind about things sometimes. It helps when you do your research, when you fact find about stuff. When I joined this travel business, for example, this business has been going for over 35 years. So I know it's something that's established. It's built momentum. It's built an ongoing community of people, as well as customers that basically keep coming back, because there's obviously something good about it for it to last as long as it has. So for me, the thought of being somewhere where I just don't want to be, and that's no disrespect to the colleagues of mine, because I'm with a great team currently there. They're great, they're such a fab bunch of people, but I just don't feel like it's me. Does that make sense to you? Like, do you feel like something's missing? You don't feel fulfilled? The the burnout, the stress, and the feeling of feeling trapped. I don't like feeling trapped. That's one thing I've always experienced inside of myself, and I think now more than ever I've realized why. Because I need to be my own boss. That's basically it. I need to do me. I need to do my own thing for me. I've got no issue about being driven and committed. this literally is testament to when I say that, because I work in full 9 to 5. I do have some other commitments outside of work. I'm setting up and building an online travel business and completing trainings online at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening. Sometimes, like in the morning, Monday to Friday, I'm up at for a 6 o'clock call in the morning. All these are my choice. I'm not made to do anything. I choose to do this because I'm that driven, and I want to make sure that I'm locked in mentally, physically, and I'm learning something every day. Every day is a school day, regardless of what you do in life, right? And I think it's so important that I put this all into place, because I want to be the best that I can be. I want to strive, and I want to be able to achieve so many goals and things. Again, not just for financial gain. It is about helping others. It's about helping myself to help others. And I don't want to feel trapped anymore. Like I say, I want to be able to do what I want when I want, I don't want to be living paycheck to paycheck anymore. As I've mentioned previously, I want to be able to pay off debt. I want to be able to have enough money in the bank so I feel happy and secure. I want to have enough money in the bank so when it comes to the bills coming in, I don't have to worry. And I can still have a life as well. I can still go out and enjoy. That's what's important to me. I'm just going to swap over a bit my hand because it's going stiff. Yeah, so that's literally, kind of like the sort of turning point, as I say, was when I was sitting at work, staring at the screen, and I just needed that way out. I needed to do something differently. I felt like my intuition, my soul was just like, now's your time. Now is your time. Like I said before, I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel, but I've made some attempts, but certain things have happened. And I put it on the wayside. I sort of parked it. It was always in the back of my mind that one day I will do a YouTube, but I never put it properly into place, into action. And now here I am, eventually and finally, so many years later, doing it. Okay, better late than never, right? But I'm still doing this. I still enjoy it. And I'm really, really enjoying it more than I ever thought. I've got to be honest. I love it. And sorry for the camera wobbling. I'm holding my phone in my hand. But what I would say to you is this, right? You don't have to feel stuck, right? Stop making excuses, right? I know things go on. Life is going to life. Things are always going to happen, right? There's never going to be a perfect time for anything. There's a lot of stuff been going on behind the scenes in my personal life, but I don't let that stop me from still making and taking action consistently every single day, right? I still show up to my training. I still show up and do what I can do every single day. Some days I do more and take more action than others. It fluctuates sometimes because things happen, right? But I still do something positive in the right direction to where I want to go with building my business. So I just want people to really think about this, right? There is never going to be a perfect time with anything in life. There isn't. Life is going to life. Life will always happen. You get stuck in traffic, you'll be late for work. Something will cancel on you. Your computer will stop working. You lose internet connection. I've actually a few weeks ago when I was on leave on holiday, I had to record the same video 3 times because even though I'd actually recorded it, it uploaded, it would not load onto YouTube. Nothing to do with YouTube. For whatever reason, it just would not sync. It would not update. It would not transfer. So three attempts later, I finally get to upload a video, right? But it's life, it just taught me to be more patient. It taught me a lot of things, yeah. As much as it was frustrating at the time, I am human, I am going to feel frustrated and annoyed, yes. But there's not much I can do about it, is there? I just got to ride the waves. So I think I just want to be able to motivate people in the right way. I'm not perfect in any way, stretch of the imagination. Sorry, I'm looking down because I just got notes here that I want to make sure I cover. I'm not perfect. I never said I was. I never am going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I just want to be able to put some fire in your belly. I want to be able to give you that little kick up the bottom and say, right, come on, now is your time. Wake up. Whether that's something you want to do in music, art, set up a business, travel, whatever it is to you that's important, do it. Put action together, put a plan together, research, make a start putting actions in place for whatever your dreams are, because I don't want you, as morbid as this sounds, I don't want you to be on your deathbed, as awful as this sounds, and regret and have what ifs, like, what if I did take that chance? What if I did step out my comfort zone? What if? Don't be there, guys. Don't let the naysayers grind you down. And what I mean by it is, right, you are a reflection of the five main people that you actually associate and hang out with most, whether that's family or friends or both. You are a reflection of them. So are your friends and family motivated, driven, successful, have decent income? Do they have the life that they want? Are they happy? Or are they people that are miserable, negative, glass half empty type people, very pessimistic and not optimistic? You've got to think about the people you're around, the things that you do, the community around you. You got to think about who and what are your tribe. What is it that's going to make you get there? What's going to help inspire you? Or you've got to be so strong in yourself. You've got to be so resilient, and you've got to just go for it regardless of what people think. You may have a lot of people in your family and your friends that will try and discourage you. Believe me, I've had it, and it doesn't discourage me. If anything, it fires me up more to prove them wrong, and more so to myself that I know I was right. As stubborn and as maybe pig-headed it might seem to some people, my attitude is, well, you are miserable, you don't have money, you don't have the experience in what I'm doing, so you have no reason to give me your opinion. If you've done something and really gone hammer and tongs at something for like over a year into a business, 2 years into a business, and really done everything that I am now doing physically, mentally, then I might listen to your opinion and your views. But until then, I'm not going to listen. I'm going to do what my intuition, my gut feeling is telling me. Get out there, Ree, and do it. So I'll leave that with you there today. But I am so motivated. I think you can tell that by now. It's also my day 8 in a row of videos that I've promised I would do 30 in a row, 30 videos daily, one per day for 30 days. And this is day 8. So I'm here to talk about what was my moment, that my deciding moment, that was it. I'm taking action. So I hope I've explained that well to you. If you would like to join me in the business, of course, by all means, you certainly can. Please comment travel below, and I would be happy to contact you within the next 24, 48 hours. If you might know somebody that might want to do something online in travel, please let them know and let me know too. And then I can reach out to them. No problem at all. We can jump on a Zoom call. All right. In the meantime, have a great day. Stay blessed, guys. Take care of yourselves.